back to another edition of Pure Picks Best Bets. I'm here with my man Gerard. We're doing some side by side gay shit, but um, so yeah, so we're back for another edition of UFC Best Bets Pure Picks edition. So this week we have UFC St. Louis versus Nascimento. But before we get started with that event, I just want to recap last week's UFC 301 event. As James noted in his video, we were up 8.1 units, so all around really great night. But from a best bets pick perspective, Gerard, why don't you go and tell the pure pickers how did you do for your best bet that you had last week?
So for my best bet, I did have Petrino in a parlay with Brito, and that wasn't exactly the best Brazilian to add to the parlay with Petrino getting choked out. And so yeah, that was bad on me, but overall for my other plays, a lot of my overs hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as far as my pick, it was Pantoja to win by decision. That obviously hit. But interesting thing is like on our bet MMA tips, we actually put fight does not go to decision, and that was one of the few bets that was one of the only one of two bets that we lost. So we didn't end up putting my pick, which is okay. And it's also pretty funny because although you picked Petrino to win, we ended up going with
Anthony
Anthony
Smith.
Smith
Yeah,
to
money line.
win money line plus 350. We kind of went with the opposite of uh, what we said in our best bets. But that was because we got swayed by James. But you know, anyways, like we want to keep track of these best bets, and we still have the utmost confidence with these picks. So yeah, I hope you guys played Pantoja by decision. As for Petrino, he didn't look good, but I mean, it's okay. We move on. So let's move on to UFC Fight Night, Lewis versus Nascimento. It's going to be in St. Louis. I know there's going to be, some native St. Louis fighters on this card. But Gerard, why don't you tell the pure pickers what is your best bet?
So this time I'm gonna play a safer parlay in my opinion, and it's not choosing any money lines here. I have the over on the Alex Caceres Sean Woodson fight and the over on the Jake Hadley Charles Johnson fight.
So over on Woodson and Alex Caceres, and the over on the Inner G. I'm just trying to find them real quick. So over here, so two pick parlay.
Yeah, two pick parlay.
So two pick parlay, that's going to come out at a minus 114. So what do you in terms of unit sizing, how are you playing this one?
I would do 1.14 to get one unit. I think it's a safe enough parlay.
Yep.
And yeah.
So why don't we talk about your first leg, Sean Woodson versus Caceres.
So Sean Woodson and Caceres, both these guys like to stand, strike and stand, and they both kind of have like a fight on the outside and a little bit of an awkward stand up for both, in my opinion. And in this fight, I think it'll be mostly a striking match with both fighters not really finding the finishing blow in this one. And I think this will probably go to a decision. And this fight can be a close decision in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like that pick just because neither fighter really has that knockout power, in my opinion. It's more so kind of like volume from the outside, poking and prodding. So I like that first leg. How about your second leg? That over on the Jake Hadley and Inner G.
So this fight, Charles Johnson, the energy fighting in St. Louis, and Jake Hadley. Um, for Jake Hadley, I don't really see anything that really scares me. He is well rounded. He has skills in grappling and striking. In terms of striking, he does have his elbow up high a little bit, and it kind of looks telegraphed a lot of the time. So I think Charles Johnson can see any big shots that come his way in this fight. And as for Charles Johnson, he looks better from round to round. He does tend to give away rounds in the early in the fight, but I think that he is a good dog in this fight. But on the safer side, I'm gonna play the over 2.5 in this one. I think this goes to a decision.
Are you not afraid of Jake Hadley's submission threat?
Yeah, I did look at that. He does have some submissions under his belt, but we've seen Charles Johnson be able to defend those throughout his career, and he's been able to get up from the grappling. He has wrestling in his pocket. So I think his defense in terms of grappling will hold up in this fight.
And you're not afraid of Johnson getting a KO, late KO?
I'm not so sure that Johnson will get a KO in this fight. I think Jake Hadley looks pretty sturdy enough in this one. I haven't really seen any devastating L's from Jake Hadley from big shots.
Okay, okay. So yeah, that's minus 114 to win. Minus minus 114 to win 100. I just want to check what these odds opened up at. So Sean Woodson versus Caceres is currently at a minus 280 for the over 2.5. The over. Okay, so it stayed the same, flat. So not much action for this one. If we go back, Hadley versus Energy, currently at a minus 260. Let's see what this one opened up at. So over opened up at a minus 226, now a minus 260. So definitely some action on this fight. But I think overall really good 2-leg parlay. Uh, hoping it hits. So if you guys tail this, let's get it, baby. Um, so now moving on, we're gonna go with my pick. So I hit that Pantoja decision last week. So I recommend you peer pickers follow my pick this week. And for this week, I'm going with none other than Joaquin Buckley to win outright against uh, Nursulton, Ruziboev. So currently at a minus 129. So in terms of unit sizing, I'm going 129 to win 100. Now, why am I picking Buckley? Okay, so first of all, this fight is going to be fought at welterweight. So Ruziboev moving down a weight class here. And if you guys know about Buckley, he started off middleweight, moved down to welterweight. His last loss was actually to Chris Curtis, and that was a fight that he lost. It was at middleweight. So at welterweight, he's actually never lost. So this is definitely more of his natural weight class, in my opinion. And what I really like about Buckley is I don't think Ruziboev has seen anyone with, at least recently, with the movement of Buckley just shifting side to side. If you watch Buckley in his fights, impeccable movement, in my opinion. Like this guy's he's got that juice to him, and I think he's got that dog, you know. And what else do I want to say? Just like looking at his post fight IG videos, he just sounds so confident in his skill right now. After beating Vicente Luque, I remember he came out with the video. He was like, "Man, I was just gonna grapple Vicente Luque. I didn't even want to do too much damage to him, but he was disrespected by Vicente Luque's coach. And after that, I was like, oh hell no, I'm about to beat his ass. And so that's what he went out there and he did that. So Buckley has amazing confidence right now on I don't even know what fight win streak he's on. Is it like 3 or 4? Yeah.
Right.
So Buckley on a 3-fight win streak, fighting some very quality opponents in my opinion. Vicente Luque, Morono. I mean Fialho's he's all right. He's not that good, but I mean, I think he's, on a roll right now, and I see him winning this fight, especially with Ruziboev moving down a weight class. I know Ruziboev's really tall and he's big and he has that KO power, but I see Buckley taking this, to be honest. So I really like Buckley at these odds currently. Gerard, what do you think about that pick?
This pick, for me, I'm like a little a little iffy on this one. I do like Buckley in this fight, especially in St. Louis. He's been asking for this fight. In terms of Ruziboev, I think there's still kind of some unknowns on him. I feel like a lot of his fights have been padding his win column a little bit because what is it, over 30, 40 wins?
Hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, and the eye poke in his last fight, and then
Yep.
Bruno slipped, and I don't know if he banged his head on the ground, but yeah, I mean, he does look dangerous. He hasn't really been able to show the grappling because he's been finishing fights early, but yeah, I think this fight's going to be a fun one, and I do have Buckley in this one, but for me, I didn't pick him as my best bet, but I do have him in this one.
Well, there you guys have it. Those are our best bets for this week. Um, any last words for the pure pickers?
I think we did good last card. I think we were up about 8 units, something like that, as a group. I think I was only the only ones that really got an L in that card. So please like and subscribe if you enjoy this. You got through this far, and if you want to join our membership, it's at purepicks.gg.
For sure,
Yeah.
man. All it takes is one event to like get that momentum going. It definitely was a rough, I'd say like a rough month, rough 1, 2 months, but we're looking to keep that momentum going. And we did really well last week, and we're gonna keep it going this week. So please like, comment, subscribe, and we will see y'all next week.